A copy of Psychology Today because it had the word creativity right there running across it. And I found out some interesting things. The storyline basically is make your life your own masterpiece. I don't actually think that's a bad idea, but there's a couple of odd things listed in here as examples. And one of them, I have it right here. It says, wake up one morning and put on electric green eyeshadow instead of your usual beige tint. There are studies, because you know, always in psychology magazines and most academic magazines for that matter, there's studies. And in this one, the studies show that people who react creatively, the ones with green eyeshadow, I guess, they said have a greater sense of well-being, and they're more curious and persistent than the ones they call conventional. And also, they said that they have a better immune system functioning. The tested tips of the coach is daydream in long distance. Think about designing a new product in Bali, and your perceptual abilities will soar. We actually, I know somebody who really did that. Nancy Anello was a printer here many years ago, and but she was really in Bali when she got the idea to design a line of children's clothing and have them produced there and then sell them here. Well, I think it's been maybe 20 years ago that she left us for that, and she's still doing it. She's still living in Bali. I know that that isn't what the creativity coach had in mind, because Nancy was doing something, not just dreaming about it, but that's really what I would recommend. I think if you're going to be creative, it's about thinking something through. And you know, you could do a lot worse than to study what other people have done in that regard, and art is a really good field for that. So the recommendation that I have is that if you can be around artists, as Nancy was, because she was a printer here for some time, of course, that's good. But it isn't really about lifestyle. It's about how did they really do it? What kind of craft, what kind of persistence, what kind of way of thinking enabled some great art to happen. And you can kind of divine some of that by looking at the piece of art itself and thinking about those questions, I think. From the pros, you know, if you were going to try to find out something about financial markets, maybe you'd want to read Warren Buffett, or if you wanted to learn more about cooking, you could pay attention to Alice Waters maybe. But this magazine, it doesn't really use any art or artists as examples, and the illustration that they use is a monkey. So it's funny, isn't it, that there's something vaguely funny and embarrassing about talking about creativity in the real world. It's a mystery to me. But the idea mainly is to get back to going into this nuts and bolts thing. So I think take a good look at the real stuff, the real art, what's really creative in the world. And I know that at least you'll get a lot of pleasure out of that, and maybe your immune system will even improve, and well, the green eyeshadow would be optional.